Hey, welcome back to A-Aron Reactions. We're back for another Ren, the gift that keeps giving. You know, it's funny that as I record this, ultimately I did the last Ren almost a week ago, even though there's been three, the big push between that, which are dropping every other day. And so, yeah, it's been a little bit of time, but, you're probably seeing this far after the fact, right? And you can check out my membership for more information on that. But here we're doing Ren with Chinchilla, and you've been recommending this to me since I got started with Ren. Some of you said wait, and others said I can't wait to hear you do that. So here we are, and this is chalk outlines. And so we're just going to dive right in. Let's do it. Okay, I think I might end up pausing to see what these are because it's a little quick moving. Yeah, let's go back to that because I feel like there's gonna be some significance in that. So I'm gonna look over here on my depreciation, plant register, or plant register, asset summary. So they're financial records, it looks like. Depreciation, another depreciation in the bottom, something register. So yeah, it looks like these are financial records and dates tied to them. So some kind of business records. Yeah, it looks like some kind of ledger. And couldn't quite see that. It said invoices. I'm guessing that was invoices. Yeah, it must be invoices. Okay, so we've got some financial records there. Ooh. So that's interesting that you got different sides of the walls that are different. You've got like a brick wall on one side and, another wall with doors on the other. I'm guessing there's some symbolism there, symbolism there. Something probably to do with all white. There's always meaning in everything. Ooh, that hit hard. The ambient sounds. Wow. Oh, you can hear as he picks up the guitar. Okay, so he's got a wireless electric.
Still here in this bed that I crawled in. I hope that I'm someone else in the morning.
Oh.
So take this one, wash it down and you'll be fine. And walk around in the floating chalk outline. So it goes, let it be. In the gallows, balanced on my toes so I can breathe.
Oh, gosh.
But little by
Wow. Oh, my gosh. These lyrics. Holy cow. Okay, I have them up here. So I'm still here in this bed that I crawled in. I hope that I'm someone else in the morning. My gosh, you make your bed, right? So now you lie in it. But also, we know that he was bedridden for so long. So it's almost like he's still there in that bed. And then he hopes he's someone else in the morning. That is tough. Right? Talk about struggle, turmoil. And, knowing this is coming from Ren, this is deeply tied to his experience of 10 years just, being bedridden and just challenging, tough times. I hope that I'm someone else in the morning. My gosh, that is tough. So take this one, wash it down, and you'll be fine. So it's not 100% clear what one means here, but wash it down typically is, wash it down like you drink something. So I'm thinking, especially tied to you'll be fine, I'm thinking it's some kind of pill, some medicine. Just brush it all off. Then walk around in a floating chalk outline. Oh my goodness. Floating chalk outline. So typically you think of chalk outlines like a some kind of like murder case or something like that where the crime scene writes those. And let's just look at that first because I think it has another meaning. But in that case, it's an outline and it carries with it, it's the end result, which is nothing. But there's this mystery behind it you have to solve adding up to it. It becomes a scene that requires a number of, it's almost like you've got a puzzle to solve at that point. But all you see are the final steps, the final remains. So obviously that's one interpretation. It's more of a literal one. But here I feel like he's saying that like he's empty and hollow, right? Like there's this outline and then you take a pill and you become more hollow. So you're floating around like you're not yourself. But this line was just hit so hard. In the gallows, I balanced on my toes so I can breathe, right? I mean, just that imagery, just picturing him on the gallows with the noose around the neck, on the tiptoes, just so he can breathe, right? Just trying to stay afloat. And again, going back to Ren's personal journey and the amount and regularity that he thought that, he couldn't go on, that he didn't want to go on, that the struggle he faced and he just trying to survive and, not being able to move, being bedridden up to 23 hours a day. He talked about just take a shower hurt him. Just that imagery of the noose around the neck and the gallows, that is tough. So I can breathe on the tippy toes, just trying to survive. Wow. And then I'll continue on with the lyrics a little bit. I don't remember exactly where we stopped in the song. And I'm going to call it a song. It's a performance, I'm sure, because Ren always does, but it's a song. But little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. Wow. If not long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. My goodness. Bury myself with a great big smile. So in other words, I've got this fleeting facade of a smile here. But it is fleeting. It's like temporary escape essentially, right? Oh my gosh, this is, if not for long, just for a while. And his singing sounds incredible. So musically, we've just got a few chords. It seems like it's repeating. So this repeating cycle it's giving you. Very, very, simple, background. It kind of reminds me of Jeff Buckley, I think. Kind of like Jeff Buckley. Like just basic background accompaniment. But his voice is anything but simple. There's so much emotion into his voice. There's so much feeling, right? So it's almost like the medicine is the chords that is trying to put you into this calm. But that turmoil and that struggle is there, and you could hear it and sense it in his voice. There's just so much there. Oh my goodness. We'll take this back a little bit, but there's just so much here already.
A little toe so I can breathe, but little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just bury myself with a great big smile. Oh mama, oh mama, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh mama, oh mama, erase ourselves in these chalk outlines. Sertraline and a sip of serotonin.
Okay, I didn't quite hear what she said, so I have to look at the lyrics. When she first came in, I gotta understand that, so I needed to stop anyway. But that line is so tough. He said, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines, erase ourselves in these chalk outlines. So it's almost like it's that act of tracing and erasing. It's that act of self-destruction, right? Like losing, recreating yourself kind of in this endless loop. Remedicating, going through it, needing it again, coming out of it, not feeling like yourself, feeling empty, feeling lost, feeling distant. Wow. Okay, so let's see. She came in, where was that at? Sertraline and a sip of serotonin. So give me just a second. Let me look that up. Okay, so sertraline is an antidepressant that actually, induces serotonin, which is kind of that supposed happy, I don't know, the happy chemical. I'm not sure. But in any case, let's go back to her singing here. So this obviously is Chinchilla. I do not know Chinchilla at all. Sorry, I probably should, but I don't.
Sertraline and a sip of serotonin. Don't cry, 'cause there's a pill for everything.
Oh, so much emotion. And those nails.
Take this one, wash it down and you'll be fine. The feeling goes and you draw a chalk outline. So it goes, let it be.
Oh, yes.
In the gallows, I'm balanced on my toes so I can breathe. But little by little, bit by bit, I push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I bury myself with a great big smile. Oh mama, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh mama, erase ourselves. It's such a perfect day. Take it just in case. Take it just in case. I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change. All things change. It's such a perfect day. It's a beautiful shade. It's a beautiful shade. I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change. But little by little, bit by bit, I'll push it back down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh mama, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh mama, erase ourselves in these chalk outlines.
I have several really close people to me that have really battled with depression. You heard recently that I lost my brother. He struggled with drugs, depression. The emotion that they're portraying here, that struggle, the turmoil. My gosh, this Chinchilla, she's wearing her heart on a sleeve. There's so stinking much here. Okay, so first thing, she came in at the sertraline and a sip of serotonin. So it's almost like, I don't know if the interpretation is that she's some other, version of him, or it's another person that he can commiserate with. Either way, she enters, and I'm sure it's not an accident, on sertraline and a sip of serotonin. So the moment that he's taking the depression medicine, there's this alter ego or additional person that is commiserating. I'm still not 100% sure what to take of the white outfits, because she also has it as well. Is it truly a chalk outline? Is it something like a psych ward or something to that effect? I'm not entirely sure. But I don't think it's arbitrary that she comes in as the medication is ticking. So I don't know, but I'm gonna play out the scenario where it is somebody that they're able to identify with, commiserate with, maybe somebody in the same situation. So now it's two people experiencing the same struggle, and they're crying out together. Because to me that just makes more sense here. That inner struggle could be, we could have a high Ren type of situation going. That certainly is plausible. But let me go down this path for a minute, because some of these lyrics and just the way that she's emoting them and the way that they're working together, it was just so powerful, and that seems more natural to me.
Chalk outline, sertraline and a sip of serotonin.
So she's singing so soft and beautifully here. So much control.
Don't cry, 'cause...
And the emotion right away. Don't cry. Oh my gosh, she lets it out.
There's a pill for everything. Take this one, wash it down, and you'll be fine.
Playing with fine as if yeah, sure, the pill will solve everything. And we live in such a society, at least in, the Western world, where, medicine is the cure for everything. Just take a pill. I've heard so many concepts and discussions and debates, even where, doctors don't practice medicine anymore. They practice writing prescriptions, right? You walk in, you spend 3 minutes, here's a script. And so the way that there's the playful fine here almost plays off of that.
The feeling goes and you draw a chalk outline. So it goes, let it be.
So yeah, that harmony, they've got a close together harmony. I think they're in thirds. We'll look at the music separately here, but I think that those are kind of almost parallel thirds. Maybe not 100%, but they're moving together in harmony. And she comes down to him for that part. But I was just so moved by her expressions here. At one point, I saw that she's actually moving to the music in rhythm, her body, and just showing this. And they're matching and balancing each other so well.
I'm balanced on my toes so I can breathe.
Look, she's leaning forward, balanced on her toes so she can breathe. She's trying to get that tension off of the neck. And almost falling into wobble there, uneasiness. She's acting this out. She's feeling it.
But little...
And from here, they are right in each other's face, just right there. That is so incredible. And I think that if I read this correctly, this was done in one take. Like, what?
By little bit by bit, I'll push it
Look at
back
that, right in each other's soul.
down with a new habit. If not for long, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh my, my.
Yeah, look at that right there. Oh my, oh my. Like she literally is, I mean,
Myself with a great big smile. Oh my, oh my. We trace ourselves in these
and she does with her nails, trace ourselves.
Oh my, we trace ourselves in these chalk outlines. Oh my, oh my.
And how they're able to balance here. I mean, Ren is belting, and he sounds incredible. I mean, he is belting. And the fact that she's up above him and able to balance is quite remarkable. She's got incredible control.
Erase ourselves.
And that line was just beautiful. Like the fall off, they flipped up the register. And look at her as well. Just she's showing it, letting it get to it. And he goes down as well. And she's falling back against the wall. She's letting it get to her. Right? And I just realized through all of this, I haven't even talked about the lyrics. So I want to do that before we get back to it, because we got to musically a little bit. But this is just, there was a couple pieces in this which so powerful. It's such a perfect day. Take it just in case. Take it just in case. So it's kind of this, everything seems okay, right? And I've heard this so often from people in, really difficult, physical, mental shape, right? Various conditions and situations that are tough, that some days are better than others, right? So here, I think the idea, it's such a perfect day. Well, take it just in case. Right? Take it just in case. Like, this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what I'm told to do. And that takes on a whole nother meaning when you consider the fact that Ren was misdiagnosed for so long. Right? Take it. This is the thing that's going to help you. When at the end of the day, it did nothing. I'm scared of being okay. Because all things change. All things change. That is one of the most hard-hitting, other than the gallows to me, hard-hitting lines in this whole thing. I'm scared of being okay because I don't know if okay is actually what I think it's going to be, because I only know this life and this is what I'm used to. But also, all things change. So how long is it going to last? Right? Am I going to have to accept the reality that, oh, I'm good and it's okay, but actually it's really not? Right? And I'm going to get this spike of serotonin where I feel like I'm in a good spot, but then you just take it all away. And then also, it's such a perfect day. It's a beautiful shame. Here we go again. And I don't know the timing of all of these among each other, but he loves to play with this shame, such a shame line. We saw that in the Tales of Jenny Screech and Violet. And, the cops, it's just such a shame. And then we saw it in, I think, back on 74, if I'm not mistaken, and then I think somewhere else. And so that's a recurring theme. It's almost a pun, right? Oh, it's such a beautiful shame in this case. I'm scared of being okay. And now it's almost like they've given up. Like she fell back, he's fallen back, the volume's gotten lower. Take it just in case, take it just in case. Oh my gosh.
I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change, all things change. It's such a perfect day, it's a beautiful shame, it's a beautiful shame. I'm scared of being okay, 'cause all things change.
all things change, and then she falls down, just winds down, and it's almost like she accepts the reality.
But little by little, bit by bit, I'll push it back down with a new habit. If not for...
Okay, look at their body language, and literally she's got her hand on his knee and she's touching him, really engaged. They're looking directly into each other's eyes. This is true art in the making here. True art right here. This is fantastic.
Alone, just for a while, I'll bury myself with a great big smile. Oh, mama.
And that right there, I know I said I'll do the music separately, but I've got to understand. Like, that's at E5, and she's doing it like she's belting. I don't even know if that's completely chest voice, but I mean, she's got so much depth to that. That is ridiculous.
Myself with a great big smile. Oh, mama, we trace ourselves in these
Again, the trace.
lines. Oh, mama.
And how are they able to balance each other dynamically?
Erase ourselves in these chalk outlines.
And then she just lets go of all, like, she just lets it slide. Like, forget about pitch, right? Like, like she just lets it go.
Ourselves in these chalk outlines.
Oh my gosh. All right, I'm going to go over to my keyboard here. I know that you guys said I need to move my mic over there. I don't yet have it solved. I either get the keyboard or I get me. So I'm going to go ahead and let you get the keyboard more than anything. Okay, so we're back for a just super brief music analysis. I don't want to go too deep on this one, but we see essentially 4 or 5 chords throughout the whole song, and that's it. And in the beginning, it's really just simple movement. We go, it's kind of this back and forth between 3 chords in cyclical, right? So it just repeats those 3 chords. I think it's minor, major, major. It starts off in minor, but I think it resolves to major, kind of giving it that little bit of dark feeling, but it has this full sound. So yeah, you've got a lot of the same lines, from Ren in the beginning, and then, Chinchilla, right? That type of thing. And when they come in harmony together, it's mostly thirds, which are pretty close together. So it gives it that kind of layering. They're almost creating the basis of a chord for themselves. Something along those lines. I don't know if that's exact, but something like that. And then a couple of times they've got, octaves where they're singing exactly the same or unison. There's a little bit more complexity as they get further in the song, but for the most part, they're creating that really tight sound together that shows them connected and adds so much color in just 2 notes. In general, though, it's relatively simple, a lot of repeating themes in melodies, and just some basic layering on top of it. Okay, so I'm back, and I'm going to finish this off with a big oh my mom, because that one really hit home. I got quite emotional because, mental health is such an important thing. And, I actually added a fundraiser because YouTube asked me, and it made sense on one of my other ones. I think for this one, I'm going to add a fundraiser as well. Maybe I'll do the same mental health one because it's so important, right? And, I'll contribute as well. Let's make a difference here. What Ren gives us and, puts into his music, and in this case also Chinchilla, should be spread and it should enable us to become better people. The vulnerability shown here in this piece, this work of art by both of them, is just so incredible. Not only with the production and the cinematography. Oh, by the way, I wrote it down. Let's go back. Sorry, there is one more piece. I forgot to explore this. So now let's go back to the beginning. So there was the whole concept of books and financial records and so forth. And so it's almost like those are bringing back to maybe more memories or something to that effect. I mean, maybe being financial records, it ties back to, money and things to that effect, but I'm not really quite seeing it. But I do think the walls being separate has something to do with it here, right? Like he was focused on. So yeah, a lot of this vision here at the beginning is looking at that brick wall, and being alarmed by the sounded like light, sound, and so forth. Which the sounds again at the beginning were amazing, but that wall to me, it signifies the inability to escape, something solid, something maybe unfinished, right? Something raw, and it's almost like that is the reality that it's facing. And then the other side, you've got a finished wall with doors that allow you a place out. And it's almost like that's the other side. How did the lyrics go for that? So that's where, I'm scared of being okay because of things change. That's the okay. That's the way out. That's the better life. That's the better style. But is afraid. And then going back to the beginning, I'm still here in this bed that I crawled in. So you made the bed. I think it's a general concept because, I think in Ren's case, his hand was dealt. Maybe not necessarily in some cases with Chinchilla. I don't know her background or story, so I can't comment on that. But, maybe there's a point there. But I think it's literal here. I think he's talking about being in the bed, can't get out of bed, just there all the time, and just I crawled in it. And there might even be ties back to crawled as in like when he was a kid crawling, and he's been there so long ago that it might have well have been there his whole life because that's all that he knows. And then again, I hope that I'm someone else in the morning, just that escapism and so forth. There's probably other aspects of this that we didn't explore. I did talk a little bit about the clothes, the single chair again. I mean, that's the setting shows isolation, depression, loneliness, solitude, these types of things. Sitting in the chair by himself, he's singing by himself, and then she joins him again. I didn't really explore the other side, like that's his alter ego, which it could be him talking to himself, or it could be, some comfort. It could be a therapist or something. It could be any number of things. I didn't really explore that much. I think this has gone on quite a bit, and I have to get going anyway. I'm curious of your thoughts on that. It absolutely could be. I'm not saying by any means it's not, but to me, it actually felt more like it's actually somebody physically there supporting. The touching of the legs and just looking in each other's eyes and so forth, like experiencing it. It felt more literal than metaphorical, but I'm not quite sure. In any case, this was another powerful masterpiece. I thank you. Please do consider joining our membership over at aaronreacts.com/Ren, which also includes the big push, by the way. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do so now, and we will see you in the next one. Thank you much.